What's up, guys? Mount Vernon Kid here, coming to you, and just got back from seeing you know who. Excellent, excellent movie. This movie, Captain America: First Avenger, was 100% on the money. Highly entertained, action-packed, story-driven, good character development. Everything you wanted in a Captain America movie was brought to us in this movie. Basically, to me, taking to make a good Captain America movie when they first was talking about Cap coming to movie theaters was simple. This is how I looked at this movie. Took a little bit Indiana Jones. Took a little bit Mission Impossible or any other espionage movie. Balled it up, stamped it, pasted it, so put it out there, and everybody knew, and that's what the product was. Let's talk about the cast. Cast was great. The I from day one when I remember when they cast Chris Evans. Let's talk about the star, okay, in the starring role. Chris Evans was cast as Human Torch. I was about maybe a few people that actually said from the start he can do it. He can do it. And boy did he ever. This man was Steve Rogers. That is all I saw on screen while watching this movie. Not one time did I say, I don't see Steve. I saw him through every scene he was in, everything. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Um, you had Hugo Weaving. Can we get another clap? This man is pure talent, Mr. Weaving. He literally became Red Skull, and I mean that not physically but metaphorically, because every scene he was in as with the Red Skull face and everything, I'm like, man, this stuff looks like Skull right out of the comics. Armin Zola was in the movie. He was great. The guy who played Armin Zola, he had a big head. I ain't gonna lie about that. His head was really big, and me and Malcolm was cracking up. Well, he was like, "Dang, he got a big head," but he was good. Uh, I'm forgetting the actress who played Peggy Carter. She was great as Peggy. I literally saw Peggy once again in her. Uh, Sebastian Stain, who played Bucky, was good. Uh, when he was on scene, I kept just envisioning him with a mask, a bionic arm, Winter Soldier. Uh, Tommy Lee Jones as Chester Phillips, great. Once again, another actor that I never seen green. He just came off beautifully. Uh, every other actor who was in the movie, from Derek Luke, who played Gabriel Jones, was great. From Neil McDowell, who played Dum Dum, was great. You know, everybody, every actor in this movie played their part well. And that's what it seems now, what is going on with these Marvel Studio movies. they're getting these actors and actresses that know how to really, really perform. But then there's one actor I also want to talk about because I can't leave him out, Mr. Stanley Tucci. As Dr. Ernstein, he was downright just remarkable. If this was his first role of him doing a German accent, his German accent was on par. Uh, and that's probably what he said. He said in an interview that was the reason why he chose to do this, because he always wanted to play. He always wanted to do a German accent, and listening to him perform as the Good Doctor was unbelievable. The effects in here were good. Fight scenes was great. I loved seeing Steve train. You saw him go through all the difficult training, and at times it was kind of as painful to watch him, struggle with, you know, uh, struggle with his, he trying to keep up with the rest of the soldiers, things like that. The other soldiers, the same bully guy, that his bully was like there was a scene where he was crawling underneath barbed wire, and he basically kicked it underneath him, and you felt for Steve during that team. You're like, man, you know you really felt for him. um it was I was not disappointed in this movie. This movie put my expectations of this movie were high as it is, but from just watching this movie, they shot my hours. It was over. It was like, it was like this. It's like, so these are your expectations, huh? Well, to the moon, because I was unbelievably impressed at the movie. Fight scenes with Steve were great. It was great to see Steve throw down and get his hands dirty. The way he was handling the shield, excellent. I gotta agree with everybody. The scenes where he was pretty much being like a spokesperson for, before he became the real Captain America, that was funny as hell. I thought that was funny. When the movie was meant to be funny, it was funny. When it was meant to, show some laughter and things like that, it was funny. But it was a little gritty. There was some gritty scenes in this movie that you were just like, whoa. It was like, what? Um, it was the only gripe I have with the movie is dealing with is Bucky's departure in the movie. I felt that it happened way too fast. I felt that his departure didn't really get enough meaning as I wanted from it. His departure, I really wanted to see him go out swinging instead of how they had him go out. You know, that was the only gripe I had with it. But everything moved at a good pace to me. I was not like, oh, come on, wrap this up, wrap it up. It moved at a good pace. When they were going on the missions, destroying the Hydra bases, it was great. Moved really fast, but you saw everything you wanted to see. Uh, Steve, just, I mean, Chris Evans, man, he took this role to another level, in my opinion. He really did. And just seeing him as Cap should put a lot of people's at ease, because he pulled it off. so great. And it wasn't like he was forcing us to, basically to say, basically him to say like, I'm Captain America, like it or not. No, he made us believe that he was Captain America. He made us believe that he was the star of this movie. Um, he really did. But he had help, and boy, did he have a good cast to work with. How Steve got trapped in the ice, was excellent. The ending was great. It was sad. I did like, it's like, oh man, like, but it was worth it. It was downright worth it. Um, in terms of just some of the dialogue with Steve, I just was like, man, that Steve would say something like that. There's like a scene. There's a scene when the doctor's asking Steve, uh, post Super Soldier Serum, so you want to go over and kill Nazis? What does Steve say? I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to kill anybody if I don't have to. But I don't like bullies, no matter where they are. I'm like, Steve would say that. You know, whenever he had a line where it was him and another star and just some famous lines that you could actually picture going back in one of your old Captain America comics and be like, you could probably find that dialogue and was like, man, you know, it just really meant something to me seeing this movie. And I can see why it's the number one movie in America, because it was good. It was really good. Um, Even if you're not a Marvel fan, you're gonna come out and say, you know what, this was good. I gotta agree, it was good. But if you're a Cap fan like me and are looking forward to the future of Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, then just hop aboard this ride. Just hop aboard and take this train and just watch Chris Evans, Mr. Evans, just fly, because he signed a 9-picture deal to reprise his role as Captain America, and so far we only seen him do it once. We're gonna see him in May of next year in the Avengers, and boy, I can't wait for that. But bottom line, guys, this was an excellent movie. Uh, Action was good. Everything about this movie was good. Um, the final scene where he wakes up in the this our century was excellent. You know it was funny that they tried to pull a fast one on him and try to make him believe that he's still in his time, and even that where he came on to the Shield agent that was like with him. He came off serious, like, you know, I know you. Now I'm gonna ask you again. Where am I? It was just like, man, like, oh, it was like, lady, you better tell this guy, for something happens to you. It was just great. It was just downright great. And I ran my mouth as much as I wanted to, guys, but I know I'm probably the last to do this. But Captain America, First Avengers. If I was giving it a 10 out of 10, uh, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 because it was excellent. The movie was excellent, and I can't wait to see what happens next for Mr. Evans as Steve Rogers. One thing I can't wait to see is hearing those famous words come out of Chris Evans' mouth as Cap in the Avengers movie. You know the words, Avengers Assemble. That is one thing I cannot wait to hear him say. But other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace One love. You stay tuned. Keep it real, guys. Go see this movie. You are going to love it. You will not be disappointed.